I am going to show you how to take a video looking like this to this on Premiere Pro via color grading. What's happening, people? It's your boy Hamza back again with another video. Today we are going to go through color grading on Premiere Pro. Now I am brand new to this kind of stuff, so bear with me, and I'm always willing to learn in the comments. If I do a mistake here and there, please let me know. This is my method of what I've found out via YouTube tutorials and whatnot so far. If you guys are new, be sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff, and if you learn something, put it down in the comments. And like I said, if there's something I make a mistake on or I can improve, let me know in the comments. This video we're going to go through, and I'll take you guys straight to the Premiere Pro panel. This is how I have it set up. I've got my settings and my effects on the right, also my color grading, which is the most important thing. So the first thing we're going to do is actually go on to Lumetri Color, which is down here, and we are going to open that panel on the right and leave it there, and then we're going to go to our clips. So me and my friend went to the gym yesterday, and I said to him, let me use my new camera, which I've bought, by the way. It's a Sony Alpha 73, which is what you can see right now. I bought this recently, and I thought, you know what, let me try make YouTube videos with my brand new camera instead of my iPhone. So let's see how it goes. Let me know how the quality is, and let me know how everything is, and yeah, let's continue on with the video. So back into Premiere Pro right now. As you can see in the bottom left, we have the images and the videos imported. So I recorded this video in a picture profile of Cine 4. Basically, my camera is a Sony Alpha 73, as you know. It's an 8-bit camera. So for 8-bit cameras, S-Log3 isn't the best, because you need basically a 10-bit camera for the best version of S-Log3. So Cine 4 is the picture profile I've gone for on this clip. So we just drag it in straight into the timeline, and let's just give it a quick watch. As you can see, that is my friend over there showing off and stuff. So one thing I've learned about color grading is that your eye can sometimes deceive you. Things may look good with your eye, but mechanically, coloring wise, there's always ways to actually see physically what's going on, and that's when Lumetri Scopes comes in. So you go into Lumetri Scopes, and this one here is known as a waveform, and brackets Luma, a Luma waveform, 100 being white and 0 being black. So the closer it is to 100, the whiter it is. So if I just play this video, at the start of the clip, can you see the top where it's peaking 100? That means it is completely white. And if you look at the video, there's this little bar of light here which is completely white. So that represents this section of the video. So the whole video is basically the section of the graph. So from this end of the video all the way to the right side is basically from this end to the right side, which is why the white bit over here represents the left side, which is this dark, which is this white part here. So if I let that run, you can see the different waveforms and the different lights and whatnot. So as you can see, there's another part here which is completely 100, which is completely white, which is in the middle of the video. As you can see, the middle of the graph is right there, and the middle of the video is right here, and that is the white part. So anytime there's a complete white bright light or white anything, a white source or color, that will be hitting 100, and you want to kind of avoid 100, and you also likewise want to avoid 0, because 0 is pure black and 100 is pure white. So that is basically the waveform Luma. I also like to open a vector scope, and this shows the different colors of the video. So at the moment, as you can see, there's not much saturation going on. When this little bright little shining torch in the middle expands out, it shows that the video is more saturated. So as we color grade, you will see it will become more and more spread out. Basically, this line here is the skin tone line. So the closer you are to this line, the better your skin tone will look. Right guys, so we're gonna go straight to Lumetri Color, and the first thing I normally like to do is increase the saturation. So I'll put in 140 just to see what that can do. Normally I use 140, I'm not sure why, but as you can see, it's added some color to it. First thing I then do after that is ignore the exposure, because exposure normally ruins it. It becomes more noisy. I'm not interested in the exposure at the moment. The contrast, play about with the contrast. Sometimes more is good, sometimes less is good. For this, in this case, you can see both sides. The less you go, the more bright it is, and then the further right you go, the darker it gets. As you can see, the graph, can you see it expanding and changing as we go? So the first thing I'd like to do, get the contrast a bit down, Highlights, get them a bit down as well. Shadows, decrease the shadows. And you just really, just at the start, you're just thinking, I need to hit a certain number. Don't worry about the number, just use the sliders and basically use your eyes, and also check on the graph. As long as you're not hitting the 0 and you're not hitting the 100, you're fine. So no need to worry about that. So yeah, as you can see, I can still play about with this if I want. I can even go higher and I'm still safe in the graph, so that's absolutely fine. But I'm gonna go down even lower. Right, so once the basic correction is done, you can tick it off to see the difference. Straight away you can see there's color introducing into the video. Before it was very washed out, very grey and dull, and straight away you can see some color coming in through. We'll take that off now and we'll go on to curves. Go on to RGB curves, and then we have this white area. So this one, we're going to create an S line, which is quite popular, you see all over YouTube. We're going to do that as well because it looks like it works and it adds great effect. So on this curve, the bottom is for shadows, the middle is for midtones, and the top is for highlights. We're going to make an S curve. So if you kind of lower down the shadows, it should get darker and kind of highlight those darker areas even further. And the midtones, we also decrease that slightly. And the highlights, to make that S, we increase that. So that's the S I've got at the moment. You can adjust the S, you can make different kinds of points, it's up to you. Find the way that suits you best. And if you flick it on and off, you can see it's getting deeper in terms of its detail and color. So we're going to skip straight past that and go on to color wheel and match. And on this one, I like to decrease the shadows even further and also decrease the highlights and then increase the midtones. So as you can see, there's some lightness coming through again, but because of these shadows, if I just decrease it even more and decrease the highlights even more, increase the midtones, we're getting more detail. So flick on and off, you can see the difference. But for some reason I like the previous one more, so you can always adjust it. There's no need to be afraid. You can just do what you want with these kind of sliders and basically physically see what's going on with the graph. And as you can see now on the vector scope, the saturation has moved. As I said at the start, all of these colors that are represented on this graph kind of thing, they were very closed into the middle first, and now they're expanding out because it shows there's more saturation. And this one's going towards the green, which means there's a lot of green in the video, and that one's going towards the yellow and the red, which represents mainly his skin and other areas. We shall go on to the HSL secondary. Now this part, we're going to try and get his color of his, we're going to try and get the color of his skin to look basically more natural, make it pop more, make it look exactly how it looks in real life. So how we do that? We are going to press this eyedropper and we're going to attach it onto his skin, and then we're going to press color gray, and then what we do is we press the one with the plus and we keep doing it until we get enough of his skin to manipulate and change. So if we keep tapping these gray areas around it, we'll get enough data to work with. As you can see, it's showing more and more. Let's get a bit more. Right, that's enough. So scroll down further and we can see if I put this all the way to the greens, his skin will become like the Incredible Hulk, but that is not natural. So what we're going to do is get back into the middle, and like I mentioned before, this vector scope shows the best skin tone. So as you can see, this line, the closer you are to this line, the better basically. So what we'll do, and I also like to denoise and add a bit of blur just for smoother edges. So yeah, you can do that if you want as well. So as you can see at the moment, there's a yellow bit, there's also a red, there's also green, but you want to get it kind of on the line. So if we just mess about with this, and let's imagine we go up towards the red, you can see it shift slightly. Or if we go take it towards the blue areas, it'll shift there as well. If I press play now, you can see on the line it is doing quite well. It is holding that line. There is an opposite effect, which is green, which shows the opposite of green is red. So on this area here, if I go opposite of green, which is red up here, if I slightly raise it, maybe it'll give me an even better curve, a better line. So if I slightly go against that, kind of use it and use the opposites. So that's another good shout. And see, that's really touching the skin tone line. It's looking much better. If I want to click off this grayish stuff now, just tick that and let's see how it looks. And that looks great to me, to be honest. Let's just have a quick gander. It's looking much better. You can also use this to basically enhance it even more or decrease it. It's basically up to you. You know, I think decreasing it looks quite good actually. Let's have a look. If I play that, it does look quite good. We have here options to sharpen, to add more detail. So if I do that, you can see just slight little changes. And as you can see, I'm showing you guys in a 1/4, so the quality isn't the full quality. But if I put it into full quality, you'll see, as you can see, the lag, and that's because this laptop is getting very warm right now. But it is what it is. We continue, and we'll put it back down to 1/4 just to get that smoother playback. And if I just tick off the HSL secondary, you will see the difference. Before, he looks very pale, very yellow, almost like there's no color in his skin. And if you tick it on, now you can see the slight orangey, more skin tone like color. So that's that so far. HSL secondary, we'll tick that one off. Forgot all this stuff, but I don't really use it. But you can, for edit effect, you know, make it more focused on him. You can decrease this and add a black shadow around the screen just to make him pop even more. And then you can even add some feathers just to kind of basically make it blur out as well, so it doesn't look too bordered up around the borders. So yeah guys, I think that is a very basic how to color grade. I am very new to this kind of stuff myself, so if I made a lot of novice mistakes and errors on the way, please let me know in the comments. I'm always willing to learn. This is far from my final product. This is actually one of my first ever projects using a proper camera and using color grading. The fact that I even got this footage was hard enough in the first place because I had to get the correct aperture, the correct ISO, the correct shutter speed. So much more to it with the lighting. It's quite an overwhelming world, the world of photography and videography, but we're getting there, we're trying to get there. So this is the product. As you can see, this was before, it was all grayed out and washed out, and then let's see what happens when it changes to what we've just done now. And now you can see the color of his skin is popping out, the background is looking deeper, and he's becoming more of the kind of subject of the video. But this can always be manipulated and changed. As you can see, it is quite dark, and that's about it, man. That's the video, guys. As I said before, let me know in the comments what you think. If there's somewhere I can improve, have I missed out on a certain thing, let me know. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys soon.